Hello, my friends. Welcome to Facebook Live Thursday evening. My name is Patty. I'm a little bit chilly, so I've got a sweatshirt on today. I'm going to go ahead and take a seat here. My pal Sherman is going to join us. This will be a nice, pretty medium to moderate pace yoga flow tonight. So we will start off slow, we'll warm up, and then we will build into a nice pace, and then we'll come back down and cool down a bit. I will offer plenty of modifications and alternatives to some more challenging poses if you have any difficulties. And remember to make this your practice. And throughout the evening, if you ever need to come into child's pose or step off the mat, please do so. Listen to your body, honor your muscles and your movement, and do what feels best for you. All right, so let's go ahead and begin. We're going to start in child's pose. So come onto your mat, big toes come together, knees out wide towards the edges of your mat. Butt comes down towards the heels, belly and chest fall to the earth as your arms stretch out forward. Forehead comes down to the mat. And just breathe. I'll probably turn and face you a little bit here and there so you can hear me. But your forehead is going to come to the mat and just fall heavy to the earth right now. We'll be in child's pose for a minute or two, so get comfortable. Taking a few breaths here, finding some stillness and what feels good to you this evening. Go ahead and take a big breath in, filling your lungs, expanding your chest and your belly and your rib cage. And sigh it all out. Another big breath in. And let it all out. Go ahead and return to your natural breath. Just a nice, easy pace here. Go ahead, fill up, big inhale, fill your lungs, breathe, breathe, breathe in, and on your exhale, come up to tall arms onto tabletop. So hands and knees, just settling in here. Four corners of your hands and your knees. Root to your mat. We're going to take cat and cow. So on our inhale, we're going to soften our belly. Gaze looks up for cow. Exhale, round our back. Look towards your belly button. Good stretch through the back for cat. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. One more inhale, look up for cow, exhale, cat. Nice and slow, continue this motion. Gently waking up your spine Adding some movement here. One more big inhale. Look up. Soften your belly. Open your heart for cow. Exhale. Cat. Come into stillness. Bring your big toes together. Knees out wide again. Sink back for one more child's pose. Maybe you sink a little deeper towards your mat here. Maybe your chest falls a bit heavier. If Ujjayi breath is in your practice, the ocean breath, take a few rhythmic breaths. Inhale through your nose. Maybe try for a count of 4 or a count of 6. And then exhale through your nose, creating a vibration of breath on both the inhale and especially the exhale. And if Ujjayi breath isn't your thing, that's all right. Just keep breathing, obviously. Couple more breaths here. And on your next exhale, go ahead and come back up to tall arms, back to tabletop. We're going to take a couple more cat and cow here. So inhale, soften your belly. Gaze looks up for cow. Exhale, arching your back, looking towards your navel for cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. One more. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Go ahead and come back to stillness. Flat back for tabletop, hands and knees. Pausing here just for a moment. We're going to take our toes, curl our toes under, push our hips up and back for our first downward facing dog. Really breathe into the back body here, pushing and stretching back. Don't worry if your heels don't touch the floor. Not everyone's do. Listen to your hamstrings, listen to the back of your legs. Honor your body. How does it feel? Now add a slight bend to your right knee and look to the left, just for a gentle stretch, looking under your left armpit. Go ahead and straighten your right knee back out, bending the left, just a gentle stretch. Gaze comes under the right armpit. Do that one more time on the other side. Right knee bends, look to the left, and opposite side. One more deep push back, your downward facing dog. Go ahead and walk your feet towards your hands, forward fold. Halfway lift, hands come to your shins, your ankles, your thighs. Flat back, release to forward fold, and now roll all the way up, one vertebrae at a time, till you are standing, And lower your arms to come down by your side. We're going to add some movement here now. We're going to go through this series a few times. So if you need to listen the first time or go slowly, then we'll pick up. So arms reach up overhead, swan dive down, forward fold, hands come near the earth. Lift up, halfway lift, nice flat back. Plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. Hinge forward to high plank. Go ahead and drop to your knees. Hug your elbows into your sides. Lower all the way to the earth. Slow and control. You can drop your belly to the earth. Keep your elbows tucked in. Hands right along your chest here, tucked in as well. Tiny little lift for cobra. Lifting our heart, our chests. Good. Go ahead and release. Curl your toes under. Push back, downward facing dog. Inhale here. And exhale. One more time. Let it out. Step or walk your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Nice flat back. Forward fold. Arms reach all the way up. Mountain pose. And come down. Stand at attention. We're going to do that a few more times. The same thing we just did. We're going to start warming up. You'll notice I shed my sweatshirt, so we're definitely going to get warm here. Reach up, arms overhead to mountain. Swan dive down to forward fold. Halfway lift to flat back. Plant your hands on your mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Go ahead and hinge forward, high plank. Drop to your knees. Lower down, tucking those elbows in with control. Come all the way down to the belly. Tops of the feet to the floor. Tuck your arms in, hands alongside your chest. Curl up for cobra. Nice gentle lift here. Go ahead and release. Come to the earth. Curl your toes under. Downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Inhale. One more big breath. Walk or step your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Halfway lift to flat back. Release to forward fold. Now rise all the way up to mountain. Arms overhead and release. One more time. Arms up to mountain. Swan dive down to forward fold. Lift up halfway. Flat back. Forward fold. Plant your hands. Step back. Downward facing dog. Hinge forward. High plank. Drop to your knees. Lower slowly down with control. All the way to the belly. Feet come to the floor. Tuck your elbows in. Rise up for cobra. Release back down. Curl your toes under. Push back. Downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Another big inhale. Let it all out. Step or walk your hands, your feet to your hands, forward fold. Halfway lift to flat back. Lower back down, forward fold. Rise all the way up to mountain and lower your arms. Good. We're going to do that one more time. Arms reach up overhead and come down, forward fold. Halfway lift to flat back. Forward fold. Plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. Hinge forward, high plank. Drop to your knees. Tuck your elbows in, lower down with control, all the way to the belly. Feet hit the floor. Lift up, cobra pose. Come back down, curl your toes under, push back, downward facing dog. 2 more breaths here. Another big breath in. Stepper, walk your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up to mountain. Lower your arms to your side. Arms reach up. Come down, forward fold. Halfway lift to flat back. Forward fold. Plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. Take a breath here. This time, right leg comes up into the air, steps through between your hands, rise up, warrior 1. Arms are up ahead, hips are square, facing forward. Nice 90-degree angle on your right leg. Open to warrior 2. Arms extend out long. Left heel pivots to the earth. Right palm up. Reverse your warrior. Left hand slides down your left leg. Hinge at the waist. Elbow to knee. Extended side angle. Go ahead and release your left hand to the earth. Curl your left toes under. Step back, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Step or walk your feet to your hands, forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise up to mountain. Lower your arms. Take a breath here. We're going to go through that same warrior series on the left now. Arms reach up overhead. Swan dive down, forward fold. Halfway lift to flat back. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Plant your hands. Step back. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts up. Steps through. Arms lift up. Warrior 1. Nice 90-degree angle in your front leg, your knees not over your ankle, beyond your toes. Hips are squared toward the front. Nice, strong warrior 1 here. Now open your arms out long, warrior 2. Flip your left palm, reverse your warrior. Gaze looks up towards your left hand comes down your right leg. Hinge at the waist, knee to elbow, elbow to knee, extended side angle. Good. Right arm comes to the earth, left arm meets it, push back, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Another breath in. Walk or hop your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Now rise all the way up, big and tall. And arms come down. Great, we're gonna do that one more time on each side, starting with the right. Arms reach up for mountain. Down to the earth, forward fold. Halfway lift to flat back. Forward fold. Halfway lift to flat back. Plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. Right leg lifts up, steps through between your hands, rise up, warrior one. Nice deep lunge, facing the front of your mat. Awesome. Open up to warrior two. Extend through your fingertips. Flip your palm, reverse your warrior. Nice side body stretch. Left arm slides down your left leg. Hinge at the waist, elbow to knee, extended side angle. Left arm lowers to the earth, right hand follows. Curl your left toes under, step back, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Good. Step or hop forward, feet to hands. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise all the way up. Nice big stretch overhead and arms come to our sides. Good. One more time on the left. Arms reach up. Swan dive down. Forward fold. Halfway lift to flat back. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Plant your hands. Step back. Downward facing dog. Left leg lifts up. Steps in between your hands. Rise up. Warrior one. Nice, strong, powerful warrior here. Open up. Warrior two. Reach out between your fingertips, stretching your arms out long. Now reverse. Look up towards your left hand. Right hand slides down your right leg. Elbow to knee. Extended side angle. Nice long line from your right hand to your right foot. Good. Right hand comes to the earth, left hand follows. Curl your toes under, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Good. Step or walk your hands to your feet to your hands. Forward fold. Halfway lift. Forward fold. Rise all the way up, big and tall. Arms come down to our sides. We're gonna do a little chair here for a minute, so maybe I'll stay turning towards you. Arms reach back up overhead, mountain pose. Feet are together, legs are glued together, thighs are nice and tight. Pushing inward, sinking down, lowering into chair. We have a slight hinge at our waist, using our core to be up strong and steady. Now we're going to twist open like warrior two, arms to the right, reaching out through our fingertips. Twisting and cleansing and stretching our side bodies. Good. Back to center. We're still in chair. Now twist to your left. Nice, strong, open twist. Arms come back to center. Another breath here. You can do it. And release. Arms come down to our side. Shake out your legs a bit if you need to. We're going to reach our arms up overhead to mountain, lower down to forward fold. Halfway lift to flat back. Release to forward fold. Halfway lift, plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. Couple breaths here. Hinge forward to high plank. Really use your core, strong and steady. Turn the eyes of your elbows in to face one another. You can always lower to your knees here if you need to, but we're going to pause just for a minute. We're going to move into a side plank. Now I'll show you two variations. You can drop to your knees here, swing your left leg behind you as a kickstand, hop up for side plank, opening your arms, right hand reaches to the right sky, right leg is out long, your toes can be on the earth, or for a bit more challenge, you can lift your right leg high and let it fly. Or from your high plank, you can turn into your full side plank, lowering to the outer edge of your left foot, opening up, pulling your hips to your side, using your core strong and steady for your side plank. And if you're strong and steady here, you certainly can let your right leg fly as well. Good. Go ahead and come back down. So whatever variation of side plank you go into, I'll show you again the modified version on your knees. Shoulders are stacked. We're still lifting from our right top hip as if a string were pulling us up towards the ceiling. For a bit more challenge, try and lift your right leg. Good. Go ahead and lower back down. We're just going to pop back into child's pose for just a minute here. I know planks and side planks are a bit challenging. Couple breaths here. Come up to hands and knees, tabletop. Curl your toes under, send your hips back, downward facing dog. Just a couple breaths here. Step your feet to your hands, forward fold. Halfway lift to flat back. Release to forward fold. Go ahead and rise all the way up. Reaching back, standing at attention here, Uttanasana. We're going to do that side plank on the other side. Arms come up to mountain, swan dive down to forward fold. Halfway lift to flat back. Release to forward fold. Halfway lift, plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. We're going to hinge forward here, high plank, pausing for just a minute. Again, variation, drop to your knees, right leg kicks to the back as a kickstand as you spin and open up, pulling up through your left hip, your left side body, and working to lift your left leg into the air. This is a flying modified side plank. If side plank is in your practice, coming from your full plank, go ahead and roll to the outer edges of your right foot. Being strong and steady And your right arm, your left side body, your left hip works to pull you strong and steady into the air. Good. Go ahead and release your left hand back to the earth into high plank if you're not there already. Drop your knees. Big toes come together. Send it back to child's pose. We're going to take a few breaths here in child's pose. Come up to tabletop on all fours. Just take 2 cat and cow here if you need it. Soften your belly. You certainly can stay in your child's pose if you don't want to do cat and cow. I kind of like the spinal movement here midway through our practice. One more gaze up for cow. Exhale to cat. Go ahead and find stillness in your tabletop. Extend your right arm long, left leg out long. Foot is flexed. Looking down towards our mat, strong, steady, still working that back and our side body here. For bird dog, lower your hand in your knee, take it on the other side. Left arm out, right leg out. Foot is flexed. Nice long line through your opposite hand and opposite leg. And lower back down. We're going to do that one more time on the other side. Right arm, left leg. Lower down, left arm, right leg. Nice strong back. Good straight line here. Go ahead and release. Staying on all fours. Right hand extends up to the sky, nice big stretch. And your hand is going to come between your left arm and left leg to thread the needle, coming down on your right shoulder, right cheek, right temple. Good shoulder stretch. Go ahead and come back up. One more reach up to the right and lower your hand down to your mat. We're going to thread the needle on the other side. Left arm reaches up, nice big stretch. And come through the space between your right arm and your right body. Come down onto your left temple. If you want a deeper stretch, you can always take your right arm and reach around your waist, opening your right shoulder a little bit as well. Bit of a heart opener. Or you may leave your right arm flat on the mat. Good. Rise up to tall arms, tabletop. Curl your toes under, push your hips back, downward facing dog. feet come to hands, forward fold, halfway lift to flat back, forward fold, rise up to mountain, releasing your arms down by your side. Take a breath here. Arms come up overhead to mountain, lower down, forward fold, halfway lift, forward fold, halfway lift, flat back, plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. Right leg reaches up into the air, steps through, lands between your hands, rise up to crescent lunge. So tall toes of the left leg, arms reach forward, right leg is bent at a 90-degree angle. Nice, good stretch for the hip flexors here. Go ahead and lower your left heel, straighten both legs. Your heels are in a nice straight line. We're going to lean forward at the waist, then down for triangle pose. Left arm lowers to the earth. Both feet spin towards the long edge of your mat for a standing straddle, wide leg forward fold. Maybe cradle your elbows, opposite elbows. Head drops, looks out behind you. Go ahead and lower your hands to the earth if they're not there already. Spin your left toes to the front of your mat, right toes follow, bend into your crescent lunge on the other side. Left leg is bent, you're up on your right toes. Nice, strong, steady crescent lunge here. Lower your right heel, straighten your left leg, extend your arms out long, hinge forward, triangle pose. Right hand comes to the earth, left toes spin towards the long edge of your mat. Another straddle forward fold. Nice big stretch here. Go ahead and heel toe your feet together. So you come together in a forward fold. Halfway lift to flat back, release to your forward fold, and then rise all the way up to mountain, arms ending by our sides. Now we're going to take a standing split. So our arms are going to reach up overhead, swan dive down, forward fold, halfway lift, forward fold. We're going to stay here. Arms are going to grasp our left leg as our right leg lifts up for a standing split. If it's too much to grab your left calf, you may leave your hands on the floor. Your right leg is about waist high or lower. Maybe it's only a few inches off the earth. You're striving for lifting in your core. We're not collapsing and crushing. It's really a balanced pose here. And from here, we're going to rise up, hinging at the waist, really sinking into your left leg to a modified standing big toe stretch. So right hand comes to the inside of your right knee as you come up. Don't worry, we'll do that on the other side. Lower your right leg, arms reach up overhead, swan dive down, forward fold. Halfway lift to flat back, forward fold. Get strong and steady in your right leg, maybe grasping your calf, lifting your left leg up for a standing split. This is balance. Using your core, using your strong leg muscles. And with balance and control, we rise up, bringing our left leg with us, bending the knee, sending it out to the side, ending in a modified big toe stretch. So some movement and some balance all in one. Go ahead and release your left leg, shake it out. We're going to take tree pose on the right. So left leg gets strong, right leg places along the left leg, basically anywhere but the knee. So ankle, our calf, our hip crease. Your left leg is providing stability and resistance as your right leg presses into the left. Hands can be at heart center. Gaze is fixed out in front of you, something not moving. And if you feel strong and steady, you may grow your tree. Let your branches grow big and wide and tall, lifting up through the core, strong and steady. You've got it. Remember to breathe here. Lower your arms back through heart center if they're out wide. Release your right leg. Stepping it out just a bit if you need to. We're going to take tree on the other side. Steady in your right leg. Right foot is planted strong on the earth. Left foot comes to the ankle, the calf, the hip crease, whatever feels best for your body, your strength, your stability. Hands may come to heart center. Remember to breathe. If you feel comfortable, grow your arms, grow your branches, grow your branches. Metaphorically, your tree branches. Remember to breathe here. Arms come back to heart center and lower your arms alongside of you. Good. Arms come up to mountain, forward fold, halfway lift to flat back, forward fold. Go ahead and come down to tabletop. Just pausing here for a minute, getting back to feel the hands and knees and feet on the mat, and then simply step through to your bum. We're going to take boat. So you certainly can do some variations here. You can keep your feet bent, or your knees bent, your feet on the floor. Lean back, activating your core, reaching towards your feet. Still creating that nice V for boat. You can lift your legs, leaning back, holding onto your thighs. Another variation. Or releasing your hands, maybe lowering your back just a little bit more for that nice deep V for your boat pose. In 3, keep breathing. In 2, go ahead and release. We're gonna do that one more time. 3 variations. Can just be the upper body, can be your knee or your legs holding on to your thighs for some stability and some balance, or full boat pose. So go ahead and take your boat. You're going to be here for about 5 more seconds. So keep breathing. Strong, strong, strong core. Good, and release. Legs are going to come out long in front of you. Flex your toes. They're pointing up towards the sky. Maybe back a little bit towards your face. Arms come all the way up. Move forward just for a seated forward fold here. You can reach your feet, maybe give yourself a nice little foot rub here, or if your hands are at your calves, give your calves some attention. A little bit of a pat down here on your calves feels pretty nice right about now. Go ahead and rise up, bend your knees. Your back is going to come to the earth. Your feet are going to scoot in towards your bum as your hands reach towards your heels. You're really going to reach towards your heels. We're going to move into bridge pose. So that reaching motion helps pull our shoulders down on our back. So set yourself up here. Go ahead and lift into bridge pose. You can leave your arms on the earth. Sometimes I like to prop up onto my triceps here a little bit as a kickstand. But really we're letting our thighs do our work in our bridge. Remember to breathe here. Another big breath in, maybe lift a little bit higher. And release back down. Take 2 breaths here. We're going to take that one more time. All right, scoot your heels towards your bum. Press in through your arms, shoulders on the back. Lift your thighs, your hips up into the air. Nice, tall, strong bridge pose. Remember to breathe. On this next exhale, try to push up a little bit taller. Really firing up your thighs. And release back down to the earth. Soles of your feet come together, knees fall open wide. One hand on your belly, one hand on your heart. And breathe. Gently bring your knees back together. Sit yourself up. Crisscross applesauce your legs. Lean forward, plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. And if you didn't catch all that, just meet me in downward facing dog. We're going to take half pigeon on the right. Right leg lifts up into the air, slight kick back before your shin comes through up towards your hands. Nice bent chicken leg here. Left leg extends out long for your half pigeon. If you have a block nearby, you can rest your forehead on a block. If you have a blanket or a sweatshirt, you certainly can use that. If it's comfortable to come down on your forearms and your head works towards the mat, you're going to feel the stretch in your right bent leg. Be here for about a minute, so keep breathing into that right hip. And as soon as you feel like you want to back out of this pose, see if you can breathe more deeply into it. Obviously, if there's something screaming in pain or in trouble, please do back out of it. But oftentimes we want to come out of a pose just about time when it's getting nice and good. One more breath here. I promise. We're going to come up to tall arms now. Pausing here, curling your left toes under, pushing back, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Left leg lifts up and back, steps through, your shin comes up towards your hands, works towards being parallel to the front of your mat. Right leg reaches back, your foot is flat on the mat. Come down to your forearms if that's comfortable, working towards placing your forehead on the mat. Focus on your breath in this pose as we remain here for about a minute. Great for the glutes, those hip flexors, those tight, hard to reach spots in our legs. Keep breathing into it. Come up to tall arms if you're not already. Right toes curl under, step back, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here. Go ahead and hinge forward, come onto your knees, feet come together, thighs are together. We're going to collapse our chest down onto the top of our thighs. Arms are going to come alongside our side body for rock pose. So we're in a tiny little ball, releasing any tension in our back, in our neck, in our legs. If this is uncomfortable, you certainly can take your knees out wide and come into child's pose. ahead and release. Spin your legs out in front of you. Take a seat on your bum. Bend your knees. Lower your back down. Steady with control. Legs reach up. Feet are flexed towards the sky. Legs up the wall. We're just going to be here for a few seconds. About half a minute. Starting to calm our muscles and prepare for the close of our practice here. Go ahead and grab the outsides of your feet, bending your knees to take happy baby. If you'd like, you can extend one leg out long, bend it back in, then the other. Doing that once or twice. And then come back into stillness and your happy baby. Go ahead and bring your knees back to center, tucking in, thighs touch, legs touch, nice bent 90-degree angle. Lower your knees to the right, extend your left arm out long. Gaze looks out over your left armpit for a supine twist. One more cleansing release of our side bodies here. Knees come back to center. Right arm extends out long. Left hand comes to the right outside knee as you lower to the left. Bring your knees back to center. Give yourself one big hug, maybe lifting your head, neck, and shoulders. Big, big, big squeeze in. And then releasing out long, legs long, arms fall heavy alongside of you for Shavasana. Our final resting pose. Come into stillness. Find peace and heaviness onto your mat. Begin to reawaken your body with gentle movements. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Roll out your hands and your wrists. And when you're ready, roll onto one side, pausing into a fetal position, gaining steadiness in your body before you push up into a seated position. You may bring your hands to heart center if you like. You can close your eyes. I want to end tonight's practice by thanking each and every one of you for joining me on the mat. I appreciate you setting aside time for this evening's practice. I hope you find it peaceful, invigorating, and relaxing. I thank all of you from the bottom of my heart. Namaste. Bye, everyone. Have a good night. Thanks, friends. See you soon.